We're talking carnivorous plants today on Pots and Trowels, and that's brought to you with the support of King Seeds and Cobra Garden. Hello, I thought we'd look at these plants today, something just a little bit different. And these are all carnivorous plants. They feed themselves by catching insects and flies. And we've started to grow a few different types, or say we, Jill has started to grow a few different types. And this is one that I think is particularly attractive. This is a Sarracenia, come in different shapes, colours and sizes. This is a taller one called Bella with these beautiful pictures here and these quite attractive markings on the top. And how they work is they lure flies into there, they drop in and digest them, and that feeds them. These originate from North America, and they grow in sort of peaty marshes where there's no nutrition, so they've got to feed themselves. And although they do look quite tropical, really, you know, you'd think these are going to need lots of heat. They are hardy. They will stand sub-zero temperatures, so they don't need too much pampering in the winter. So what we're going to do in a minute is pot them up, because we've had these a year in these small pots, and we want to put them in a slightly bigger pot so that they'll grow for next year. But just to show you the different forms of Sarracenia, this one is a little sort of stumpy one. So instead of those tall pitchers, this one is quite a low-growing one, as you can see. Won't get much bigger, but they do make big clumps, and you know, if they're planted outside in a bog garden, they will make a really wonderful show. And then another one here, this is a new one. I mean, there are various specialist growers in the UK, but this one is from a friend of ours and grower. This one is called Sarracenia Fon, F-O-N. And it is amazing. It's got these really big pitchers on this, not too tall growing. It's quite a sort of short one. This one is from Hampshire Carnivorous Plants, Matt Soper, who owns the business. This is one of his breeding program, and it's named after a lady that works for him, and she's worked for him for many years, so we wanted to recognise all the work she's done. So it is a beautiful specimen, and that one is going to bulk out really nicely. Just a few different types that you can get. And some of these are hardy or tender, depending on what they are. This one here is a Drosera. So this one basically catches its prey. It's got these very fine hairs all along the sort of flattened leaves that have a nectar on them, sweet and sticky. The flies are attracted to it, stick, and again, they're digested. So, and then these here, these are called butterworts or pinguicula. Named butterwort because if you actually feel the leaf, it's just like touching a cold pat of butter. And again, they attract little flies, fruit flies, little scarrid flies that you can get on your house plants, and they stick on there and they're eaten. We keep these, or I say we, Jill keeps these on the kitchen window, and it's amazing how many little flies they actually catch. But what we're going to do today, I'm just going to move these out the way, is to show you a little bit how we can pot them up. So this is the Sarracenia that I'm going to pot up, and this one we've had just over a year. It's probably doubled in size. We bought it in a pot of this size. This is a 9 centimetre, 3.5 inch pot. That's normally what you would buy them in when you buy them from the specialist growers or at the flower shows. And I just want to put it in a slightly bigger pot because what they do, they will make a big clump. And we can see this one has already started to spread and produce a side rhizome there, and that will keep bulking up. In order to do that, it needs a little bit more compost to do it. First thing I'm going to do is to take off some of the foliage that has withered away. So instead of it being nice and green, sometimes they will pull off, otherwise just snip those brown little pieces off like that. While it's all green, of course, it's doing a job, so we don't take anything off that is growing. But while I'm potting it, I thought it's a good opportunity to just tidy those little ones away like that. So just work your way through. That one has gone completely. Take that one off, and there's one more there. What we often do is cut them down more in early spring to promote new pitches. But for now, all these are still feeding the plant. And that is it. It's as simple as that. So all I'm going to do is take it out of the pot and repot it. Just thought I'd show you this though before I do. This is a bigger picture that came off another one. It had collapsed on it, and we can see in these, if I open that up, it's actually full of dead flies, and that is exactly what is feeding the plant and making it grow. That is providing it with the nutrition. So I can now get rid of those, pop those in the bin. Pot size, we're going from 3.5 inch pot. You could just about get away with a 4.5 inch pot, but it's going to be a little bit tight. So I'm actually going to put it into this one. It's only a fraction bigger. This is a 1 litre, which is basically double the volume. This is half a litre, this is 1 litre. And it gives me space to put a little bit of fresh compost around the edge. So that's what it's going to go into. And the compost I'm using is this. They are quite specific what they grow in. They naturally grow in peat. And although we're being encouraged not to use as much peat, the peat-free alternatives aren't as good long-term. If we pot it into this pot, it should be fine for several years. Whereas if you use a peat-free alternative, you have to pot more regularly. So, you know, this is what the growers are using at the moment. This is a peat and perlite mix, which has come from Matt at Hampshire Carnivorous Plants. And you can get this online or from them at shows. So it's really simple. We've got our pot here. I'm just going to take it out. If there's any moss growing around the top, I'm going to leave that. And potting times are really any time it's actively growing. So it's fine to do it in early autumn. We've got a lovely root system there as well that just wants to grow out. I'm just going to bunch this together and put some of the potting media in the base. Just judge it. I want it to be about the same level in the pot. So just lightly firm that down, hold it into position, and then it's just a case of trickling this compost around like that. And we're just going to give it a light firm once we've got it in. So just fill that and just using our fingers just to firm it down a little bit. It's really simple to do. Firm that down. And then just top it up again like that. Give it a good tap to settle it down. And that is it. It's as simple as that. That is all we need to do with it. And that is it. It's as simple as that. We've potted it to the same height, no deeper. It's not lifted out or anything. And then it's a case of giving it a drink. Now, Sarracenias naturally grow in boggy soil, so they do need to be standing in a little bit of water at all times if you're growing them in pots, and they need rainwater. That is really important. They need soft water. If you use hard water, occasionally it won't do any harm, but long term it can harm them. So soft rainwater. So I'm just going to give that a good soak on the top, and that will soak down through that compost and help to settle it even more. And I want to water it until the water comes out the base, and then from there onwards it will be just a case of topping up this little saucer or tray if you want to. Now, you can also grow them outside. Now, I probably wouldn't do it at this time of the year, but they are pretty tough. Just to give you some idea of how tough they are, Matt Soper from Hampshire Carnivorous Plants is down in Hampshire, and he's got some outdoor raised beds where he's planted some many years ago, and they are huge specimens, absolutely amazing. They will stand being frozen solid. And another grower, Wax Wicked Plants in North Yorkshire, all their plants stand outside through the winter, so they don't need mollycoddling. This one is going to live in a cold greenhouse, so it will still get cold. And the fact that I potted up here now, we're only just coming into the second week of October, it's still a little bit of warmth. It's quite warm in here, so that will give it time to make some root. Eventually it will die down in the winter, and next year it will spring back, and that plant, I'm hoping next year in this, will double. And never ever feed it, just let the flies do the work for you. Well, thank you for watching it. And if you do fancy growing some Sarracenias or other carnivorous plants, give them a go. They're great fun to grow and really attractive. Don't forget also all the videos we've done and the weekly podcasts you can find on YouTube, where you can subscribe for free. And please tell all your friends about it and share it so we can get a really good gardening community going. And we'll be back with you again, of course, next week in the garden. So until then, bye for now.